So they would discard, of course, the bad intel here and draw another bad intel. But having that bad intel also means they get this card here, right? So this is another blind swap. All right, so they can discard that intel card again and draw another bad intel. Okay, they are really unlucky at the moment. That's good for me. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and today I will be bringing you my preview of Honeypot. So there is a Kickstarter campaign online done by Flatout Games for Honeypot and also Forage. Both games I will bring to you so you can have an idea of how these games work. A little bit later than I wanted to. I wanted to bring them to you before the campaign, but that just wasn't possible. Also, logistically, that didn't work. But now I'm finally bringing those games to you. So if you like what you see here, you can still back the campaign. All right, before we get started, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's do this. All right, there we go. So how I will structure today's video is as follows. First, I will give you a rough overview over what Honeypot is. Then I will show you how to play it multiplayer, give you an overview over that. And then I will do a full solo playthrough to show you how it plays solo, because yes, this also has a solo mode. All right, so let's get right started. So what is Honeypot? Honeypot is an I stack you choose game. So kind of like I split you choose, but instead of splitting cards for other people, for other players to choose specific cards or stacks, you actually stack cards on top of another. Quite an interesting concept. So let me just get out all the cards that we need. Yeah, we pretty much need everything here. We have these cute little folders here. See them right here? But one thing to keep in mind, as usual with Kickstarter previews, this is just a preview, right? So the final product can still look differently when released. Okay, so we don't need all of those. Let me just get a few. Well, actually, let me get a few more. Alrighty. So, and then here we have these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 of those. Let me just take these two, and that one here in the middle. Okay, so we don't really need that anymore. Let me just put that aside here. Alrighty, there we go. So let me just quickly set up the game so you know how it plays. Let me just set it up for a 2-player game, for example, right? So one player would take this character card here, the blue one, for example. The other one would take the one with that is very well dressed, of course. So let me just take this one here, because that would definitely be me. The other ones you don't need, right? But you can play this with up to 6 players, but also solo, as I said. And everybody gets a matching secret cache folder. So we would have a blue one here and a purple one. The others we would also put back into the box. Then everybody would get 2 swiping tokens, the one with the paw here. Let me just put them here like this. Okay. The other swiping tokens, these I will just put aside for now. Let me just put them maybe over here like that. Then we have all of these cards here. You shuffle all of these cards and then you deal each player 6 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Then also the bees token here, the one with the -7. That's one you definitely don't want to get. We also put that aside for now. Then you take all of the round bonus cards and select 5 at random. I've already done that. So you would also put those somewhere where everybody could reach them. Maybe like this here. There we go. Just do this a little bit nicer. There we go. Then one player would be the first player. You give them the turn rotation marker. And then we are pretty much done. You just put that to the clockwise side here. And with that, you could start the game. And how this works is very simple. Each player would simultaneously look at their 6 cards without showing it to other players, right? They're all kinds of different cards. Essentially, this is an I stack you choose game, just like I said, but also it is a set collection game. So you want to try to collect specific sets, right? So and what I will do is I will now choose a specific order of these cards and put them face down into my little folder here, right? So for example, let me just maybe do it like that. Let me put something that is not that interesting. Maybe this here at the end. I will just show you in a moment why. And then maybe I will do it let me do it like this. Okay. And then I would just put them like into my little folder here, and every player would do that, right? The other player would also do that. Yeah, I would just like this time I would just shuffle them randomly, right? Because I'm not the blue player, so I don't know how they arranged that for me. Just like this. And now everybody would pass this to the next player, right? If you had like a 4-player game or something, everybody would pass everything to the left because that's what the turn rotation marker tells you, right? So of course we would just like switch because we're like 2 players, right? So now we have a starting player, which is me, and I would now start revealing my secret cache. How that works is I will now take these out here, and now I would like flip over the first 2 cards of this cache, right? So for example, I would flip over these 2 cards. So now you see, this is just like kind of okay, right? Because the good intel gives me 2 points. Every time you see like the honeycomb here with like a number in there, that's like points or negative points. Like here, -3, right? So right now, if I took these 2 cards, I would get like 2 points and -3 points. That's not very great. Also, if I collect 3 good intels, like one with 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points each, then I get like 3 points extra. That's not too bad, right? And if I collect 3 bad intels with different numbers, -1, -2, -3, I could like remove all of them and don't have them anymore. Kind of hard to go for that, but you could also do that. So now I have to decide, do I want to keep these 2 cards or do I want to continue pushing my luck? Which means I would not take these ones. I would put them aside, right? And would turn over the next 2 cards. So do I want to keep those? Well, it's kind of okay, right? We do have like an action card here that would like, if I took these 2 cards, this would take effect immediately. Would allow me to discard 1 card and draw another one. I don't have any cards at the moment, so it doesn't really help me a whole lot, right? Also, the code book doesn't give any points, but if I have 2 of them, they grant 7 points, right? If I have 3 code books, also 7 points. If I have 4, it's 14, right? That all stacks. It's kind of okay, but also not great. So what happens now is, now I would have to, if I also discard those, there are only 2 cards left in this folder here. These cards I have to take whether I want to or not. So let's see. All right, that's probably like the actually the best outcome. So now I have to take those, right? So decoder would mean I would gain like 1 swiping token. Very cool. So I would get that. This would get discarded, just like with all the other cards that I didn't want to as well. Everything is being discarded here. And then the codebook I would just put like in my little set collection area, right? So this is like one of the, let me just put this a little bit here. This will be one of the first cards that I would have. Now it's the next player's turn. Same thing here for the blue player. This is the folder that I arranged. You see that because that's the same color as my character card, right? So the blue player will do the same thing. We'll turn over these 2. Okay. So good intel. That's good. That's 2 points. The honeycomb is 3 points. That's also good. But this means bees swarm you. That means if they would take these 2 cards, this one would make them take the honeycomb card, which is -7 points. It is fine for now, but like whenever another player has a honeycomb card, then they take that token, right? So that's like kind of being passed around depending on which cards, like who's like the last person to take the honeycomb card. So you can have those, but you don't want to be the last person to do so. So now that person could say, well, actually, it's not too bad, but I think I can do better. So these are being discarded, and 2 new cards are being turned over. That's kind of bad. We have a set collection card here, berry. If you have 1 berry, you gain 2 points. For 2 berries, 5 points. For 3, 9 points. For 4, 14 points. If you have 5 berries, you get nothing. But the bad intel card is kind of bad again, right? But let's say they would say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take these cards because I can like build up an engine here with berries, and this one I can like maybe discard with an action card like we saw before, or with like all 3 bad intel cards. All right, I'm going to take that. Probably not the best way to do that, but let's say they would take that. Now there are still cards remaining in this cache, right? Because this player has actually taken 2 cards here, right? So now the next player in turn order, except for the one having arranged that folder, right, could spend a swiping token to say, okay, I'm going to continue with your cache, right? So turn off the next 2 cards, and if there are still 2 cards left, they could like remove those and take 2 other cards. In a 2-player game, that doesn't work because the player has actually arranged the folder and knows what's happening here. The swiping mechanism works differently in a 2-player game, also in a solo game. Instead, the active player, this one, he can now say, okay, I'm going to spend one of my swiping tokens in order to continue, right? So they could now just have another turn and turn over more cards. Of course, if these are the last 2 cards, they have to take them. If there are more left, they could like repeat that. So Just as a reminder, swiping tokens in a 3+ player game, the next player in turn order, except the one having arranged the folder, can continue with the folder of that player. In a 1 and 2 player game, you can do it with your own folder. So these swiping tokens are actually really good because you can just get more cards. Then at round end, you see like who has gotten the most negative points altogether in their tableau. At the moment, it would be like this, right? So it would look like this here. Oh, by the way, this would have gained them a swiping token. So the tableaus would now look like this, right? And now we check, okay, who has the most negative points with like bad intel in their tableau. It's that player here, right? So that player can like choose any of these round end cards here, for example, this one here, and gain another swiping token. Really great. This one is discarded. And then we pass the turn rotation marker to the next player, turn it over, and start a new round by drawing 6 cards, arranging our caches, and so on. After 5 rounds, when all these cards are gone, we just add up all the points in our tableau. And who has the most points is the winner of the game. So you see, this is like a very, very simple game to teach, understand, and learn. What I will now do, I will show you a solo playthrough, so you get an idea of how you can play this solo, because that's like the main thing of my channel. Also, you will get a feeling of how the game actually plays without me showing how it works. All right, so let me just quickly set up the game for a solo playthrough, and then we can get started. Right, and that is how you would set up a game for a solo game for Honeypot. So you can see it looks like very, very similar, right? There are a few changes. First of all, we don't have the turn rotation marker, and also we don't have the folders, unfortunately. I really like this folder mechanism, but in a solo game, you don't need that because you're just turning cards over yourself. You don't need to do anything in private, but I really like this folder mechanism for the multiplayer game. So in a solo game, it works like this. You take the top 8 Honeypot cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And what you then do is you just turn over the first 2 cards here. We have a Honey Dipper and we have a Disguise. So these are the cards I haven't shown you yet. The Honey Dipper means if you have 1, you get 6 points. If you have 2, you get 3 points. If you have 3, you get 0 points. But you can start a new set afterwards, right? So it's kind of similar to the berries. Just, you just want to have 1 of those if possible. Or like then 4, 7, right? Something like that. And also disguises there are like different disguises here. I love these disguises. These are like really hilarious. These are like, you need to have unique ones. So if you have like 3 different disguises, you have 8 points, right? If you have the same disguise, then these are like 2 different sets that you can complete. So these are 2 cards. I will now remember those. Okay, Honey Dipper disguise. Disguise B, that's maybe good to know. All right. And then what we will do is we will just shuffle them back into the 8 cards here and shuffle that all up. That means now I have the knowledge of at least 2 cards in here, right? I know 2 of these 8 cards that can help me like make an informed decision of what I want to do. This is now the secret cache that I've assembled, right? With 2 cards that I know. And now I'm always the first player to receive cards. The automa, like the opponent will receive something else afterwards. I will do the same thing as I will do like in a multiplayer game with the cache. I will turn over the first 2 cards. So now I need to make a decision. Do I want to keep these cards or do I want to keep collecting? 6 points for Honey Dipper is good, but the game is like 5 rounds, right? It's very possible that I will get more of those. Then again, like a good intel card with 3 points is also not too bad, right? So I think I would actually keep those. So what I do is then I will resolve now the action cards, if there were any, but there aren't any. And these I will just put into my tableau, right? Let me just put them here in the bottom, just like that. And now the rival agent will take their turn. But I've now chosen my cards. I can now use a swiping token to continue, like to have like a second go at the cards, right? I'm thinking, I know that there's a disguise in here, which isn't too bad, right? Getting these disguises wouldn't be too bad, but there could also be a lot of bad intel cards, right? But I will do that. I will spend 1 swiping token, put that back into the supply, and then I will continue drawing cards. Oh, look at this. I got 2 different disguises. That's amazing. I will definitely take those 2. So I will stop again, right? And take these 2 into my tableau here. Let me just put it like all the way to the left here. Just like that. Now I could spend another swiping token in order to continue. But I think I will stop for now. I don't want to spend all my swiping tokens, to be honest. So now I'm done with my turn. Now the rival agent, as they are called, will now take their turn. And they will always take the next 2 cards in the stack that I didn't take. right? So we would just reveal them and put them in their area. That is, oh, look at this. I should have continued. Oh, by the way, I can like put them here in like a set. So they will actually get the disguise and they will get a good intel. And that's it. And these, the last cards are just being discarded. Like if I like actually empty the entire stack because like the first 6 cards I don't want, I'm going to take the last 2 ones or with the swiping tokens, whatever, then the opponent will always take the top X cards from the deck depending on the difficulty. I'm playing at normal difficulty here, and then they will always take like at medium difficulty, they will always draw 3 cards. I'm like penalized for like taking too many cards here, right? The rest will just be discarded. We would have had a berry jammer or honeycomb. Okay, it's kind of good that I didn't continue. The honeycomb would have been good for them because then they would have -7 points. Okay, now we do the same thing we do for like every round at the end of the game. At the end of the round, we just check check like how many negative points we have here for the bad caches. We don't have any. So now we have a tie, right? Because nobody has any negative points. It means we just choose one of these cards and we just discard it from the game because nobody then gets it. And this will be like discarded face up, right? So it would have been a decoder. Okay, nice. And that's it. Now we do the next turn. Same thing. I draw 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now imagine this is 5 rounds, right? 1 round takes maybe 2-3 minutes maximum, depending on how long I need to actually like look at the cards and stuff, right? That means like you can play this game in like 10-15 minutes solo, and even multiplayer goes very quick because everybody's just arranging their cache, and then everybody goes around like revealing stuff. It takes a little bit longer, but still, this is a very short and quick game, which I appreciate. Okay, we take a look at 2 cards. We have a disguise that I already have. I'm not really interested in that one, but I also don't want them to have it, right? The berry, yeah, would be kind of cool. Why not? Okay, sure. So we know 2 of these cards. 1 berry and 1 bee disguise. Okay, let's shuffle that up. So now we have our secret cache, and I will start drawing cards. Ooh, that is nice. Another disguise, 3 of them. That's 8 points already. That's really good. I'm going to stop. I'm going to take this one. I love this. And also the berry. That's fine. So now I could spend a swiping token to continue. I really don't want them to have like the other disguise, right? But like swiping tokens are also points at the end of the game. What am I gonna do? Oh, by the way, I need to reverse something. I forgot something. I need to reverse a few things because the thing is, the opponent also has swiping tokens, right? Last round, these 2 were like left, these 2 cards, right? When they stopped taking cards. And they will always swipe once per round if there are still 2 cards left in the stack. So he would have swiped and also taken these cards here, right? That means, let me just put this like this. That means they also would have gotten the honeycomb token here, like this. Okay. But they would have not gotten this card here because these don't count for the honeycomb cards. So sorry for that small mistake, but now we can continue. Okay. So, do I continue with the swiping? I don't think so. I'm going to stop. Okay, now it's their turn. They will just take these 2 cards here. Okay, well, that's a disguise they already have, so that's not great for them. Let me just put this one. Let me just put it here. And they have a code book as well. Okay, let me just put it here for now. And they will always swipe once per round if they can, right? So they will also take these cards here. Oh, that's horrible. It's good for them, but horrible for me. So they have loads of disguises here. Oh, that's pretty bad for me. Okay, and these will just be discarded, right? Oh, that would have been a bad intel card. So now we check again how many bad intel cards we have, but we all have 0, so we just discard one of those face up here. That would have been another disguise. That's, by the way, a wild disguise, right? Could count as any of those. That's pretty cool. All right, next round. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We will take a look at... I almost took a look at all cards. So we have a blind swap here. So we can discard 1 card and draw 1. Okay, cool, sure. And a code book. We don't want our opponent to have it, right? So let's just shuffle these up. Just like this. And then, let's see. Dead drop, draw 2, discard 1, draw 1. We could like draw a lot of cards, right? That would be kind of cool, actually, right? We could now get 2 cards, and then we discard one and draw one again. That could be kind of good, actually. I think I'm going to do that. I like that. So let's draw 2 cards from the top of the deck. I have to take those then, right? Oh no, we have a bad intel card, and we have a spy camera. Per disguise card the other player has. Okay, that is actually not too bad, right? I mean, that's something that I can maybe work with. I think so, at least. Yeah, I think so. Okay, then, yeah, I will take these 2 cards. I have to, right? But now I will discard one to draw one. So I will discard the bad intel card and draw another one. Let's see what we have. Another berry. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's fine. The spy karma, yeah, sure. I will just put it here for now. That's okay. I could use a swiping token to continue. Will I do that? No, I don't think I will do that. Okay, now it's the opponent's turn. They will take a honeycomb and a decoder. Okay. So the honeycomb, they will still keep the beast token. It's good that I didn't take it, that I didn't continue. And the decoder is an action card. They will just discard that to get another swiping token. So now I'm not quite sure if they will actually continue. They can. I think they can continue, right? They just got a swiping token. So I guess they can spend that to continue. I suppose. Bad Intel Codebook. Okay, Codebook is good for them. The Bad Intel is not good for them. So yeah, let me just do it like this here. Of course, I didn't want to be too far away with the camera. That's why I'm stacking stuff a little bit. But you would build up like a larger tableau for you, right? So these will be discarded. Okay. And now, Bad Intel card. They have 1. I have 0, right? So they would actually take one of these cards. Let's just give them this one here. It's a blind swap. Discard 1 and draw 1. And we always do that like in favor of the opponent, right? So we would actually discard a bad intel card because that's like the biggest point difference we could like do for them positively. And they will draw 1, which is a good intel card. Okay. Okay, that's good for them actually. So this is removed. Okay, next round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's take a look at the top 2 cards. A berry. I would love the berry. And I don't want the honey dipper. I definitely don't. So yeah, berry would be great. Let's try to get that berry. So let's see. A cut. And there we go. So let's see. Berry. Nice. Ooh, that's kind of rough. I don't want the bad intel, right? But if I took the bad intel, I could also get one of those cards. These could also be good, right? These are like always good. I think they're never like bad. I think, at least. So, do I continue? The berry is nice. It's 4 points, but that's like -3, right? I don't really want that. So no, I'm going to continue. I don't want those. Let's continue. Okay, honey dipper. I don't want that either. The berry jammer is like per berry card the opponent has. They don't have any. So, you know what? I will also discard those. Okay. Berry, yeah. Oh, look at this. Yes, I'm definitely going to take those. So let me take these 2 berries here. So I could now continue with my swiping token. I could do that. It's the last one I have, but I think I don't think I will do that because they otherwise will draw 3 cards from the deck if this is empty, right? So yeah, they will just take these 2 cards. Oh, I should have. Actually, no, it's fine. They take another disguise, which is good for them. But we do have the spy camera. Like we get 1 point for each disguise they have, and also they get a bad intel card. That also means at the end of the round, they have more bad intel cards than we do. So they take one of those cards. That's a good intel card. Okay. They're getting a lot of points. I don't think I can win this game. But let's see. All right, last round. Let's draw the last 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this. By the way, these are not all cards, right? I have like another fat stack up here. So there are loads of cards. Okay, so let's take a look at 2 cards. Decoder and codebook. Okay, the codebook doesn't matter for any of us, but the decoder would be kind of nice to have. So I could swipe a little bit, right? That wouldn't be too bad. Okay, so let's shuffle these. Oops. I shouldn't have seen that. Well, luckily it's just a demo playthrough for you. Okay, so let's see. Honeycomb and decoder. So I definitely don't want that, right? Because then the bees go here, and if he doesn't get a honeycomb, I get -7 points. I definitely don't want that. So I'm not going to take those. Okay, let's continue. Codebook, sure. Good intel. Is that okay? Yeah, this doesn't give me any points, right? But this one gives me 2 points. And if I can get a 1 still, I doubt I can, but that'd be kind of okay. And I want to have some room for my swiping token, right? So you know what? I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that, put this one here. Maybe hope for a 1 good intel. Oh, by the way, my swiping token, right? Oh no, I definitely don't want those. So I'm going to remove those. So these cards now I have to take. That's actually not too bad. We have another code book that's like 7 points. And we have this one for 2 points. Okay, that's not too bad. So now they can't take any cards, right? Because this is empty. So they will just take the top 3 cards of the deck. What do we have here for them? Oh, they have a honey dipper. That's bad. They also have a berry. And they have a blind swap. Discard 1 and draw 1. So they would discard, of course, the bad intel here. And draw another bad intel. But having that bad intel also means they get this card here, right? So this is another blind swap. All right, so they can discard that intel card again and draw another bad intel. Okay, they are really unlucky at the moment. That's good for me. All right, and that would spell the end of the game, right? Because we're done now. We have they have done like all their stupid swaps here, and now we just count up all the points that we have. So we get points for several. Mostly we get points for like our sets, but there are also these rubies here that I haven't mentioned yet, right? They also get like point. We also get points for that, and then also we get points for our swiping tokens if we still have any left. So let me start with my points here, right? So I have 4 of these berries here. That is 14 points. Not too bad. Let me write that down right here. All right, so we have Sir Thecos and we have our rival agent. Okay, so I have 14 points. Good. Then I have 3 different disguises, 3 unique disguises. That's 8 points. Then here I get 3, 5, 7 points. I don't get any bonus points here because I never collected a 1, 2, 3 set. I have 2 code books. That's another 7 points. And then we have the spy camera here. I get 1 point per disguise. The opponent has. That's 5 points. That's not too bad. Seriously. And we have a honey dipper. 6 points. I don't have any swiping tokens, right? So, and now what we will also take a look at is like the rubies here, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 rubies. And the opponent has 3, 5, 6 rubies. And also plus 2 rubies because we're playing on medium, right? That means they have like more rubies than we do. And rubies work in such a way that you like check like who has the most and the second most rubies. In a 2-player game, it would be 6 points for the one with the most rubies and 2 for the other player, right? So I would get 2 points and they will get 6. We will remember that in just a moment. All right, so also on medium difficulty, the rival agent does not score negative points for the beast token, right? So yeah, so berries, that's 2 points. Honey dipper, that's 6 points. All right, that's 2 and 6 points. The honeycomb, that is another 6 points. The code book gives, oh yeah, they have 2 actually. That's kind of bad. So that's another 7 points. And then here we have the berry jammer per berry that I have. That's 4 points. Oh, I'm not doing, no, but actually the 14 points, like the berries were like really good for me. Bad intel, that's negative 1 point. Then here the good intel, no set, but that's just 4 points altogether. And then disguises, there are 2 sets. 1 set here with these 4, that's 12 points. And another set with just 1 disguise, which is 1 point. And then those 6 points here for those berries, right? And I think, for those rubies, and I think then we are done. So let's count all of that up. So the rival agent has 2, 8, 14, 21, 25, 24, 28, 30, 40, 47, if I'm not mistaken. That's 47 points for the rival agent. And I have 8, 13, 20, 27, 35, 45, 49. Oh, I think that was... I hope I have not miscounted anything here. But the way it looks like, I actually did win the game after all, which I wouldn't have thought that I could do. But yeah, there we go. And this is how you would play a solo playthrough of Honeypot. Just as a little reminder, in a multiplayer game, the game works like the same thing. It's the same. It's just that you cannot use these swiping tokens on your own folder unless you're on a 2-player game. You can only use it like on other players' folders. And also you're using these folders and giving them to the other players. So this is how you play the game Honeypot. But how do I like it? Well, let me tell you. First of all, the game has a very cute theme. I always enjoy nature and animal-based themes, and the bears here are just charming. Now, to be fair, This is also one of those designs where the core gameplay could probably work with many different themes. But they chose a nice one and it fits the light, family-friendly vibe of the game. At its heart, Honeypot is a set collection game, and the core idea is very simple. Nothing revolutionary there. But what makes this game interesting is the way you actually collect your sets, especially in multiplayer. In the multiplayer game, you're not just flipping cards for yourself, like in the solo game here, but you decide in which order your neighboring player has to turn over cards. And that creates some surprisingly fun moments. There's a bit of psychology in there. You're trying to guide their flips, bluff a little, and hope they reveal what you want them to reveal. Or not. That's a really novel twist for a small set collection game. I really like this. Of course, in a solo mode, you don't have that, but still, the way you turn over cards and you have the knowledge of 2 cards also makes the solo game very interesting. The swiping tokens make that whole mechanism even better, because you can take a risk to reveal even more cards. Even for in a solo or 2-player game, your own cards, or the cards of a different player in a multiplayer game. That really adds tension and gives you meaningful decisions. Do you play it safe, or do you push your luck a little bit? Of course, in solo play, you don't really get that psychological element, but I really like how they adapted the game for solo anyway. You still have the core decision of flipping cards and deciding whether to take what you revealed or not. And I like that you get to know 2 cards in this stack, which gives you just enough information to plan a little. The swiping tokens also work nicely in solo mode and keep that risk-reward element intact. Another big plus is how quick the solo mode plays. It's easy to set up, quick to resolve, and makes for a great short solo session. But the game is also quite quick in multiplayer because we have that simultaneous setup of the different folders. Overall, I'd say the theme is nice, but a little bit pasted on. The gameplay is what really drives the experience here. And once you understand how all the different sets score, the game becomes very elegant and smooth. All in all, Honeypot is a simple but quite clever set collection game with a charming presentation, a fun multiplayer idea, and a solo mode that plays fast and still offers meaningful decisions. It's not trying to reinvent the genre, but within this complexity level, I think it's one of the better set collection games out there. So if that sounds like your kind of game, feel free to check out the Kickstarter campaign that is running right now. As usual, you'll find the link in this video's description. Well, that concludes my playthrough and preview of Honeypot. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking to the very end of the video. As usual, my thanks goes out to all of you. A special shout out to my generous patrons. The biggest thanks go out to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. I truly appreciate that. You can support me by watching, liking and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel to keep up to date with my latest videos, support me on Patreon, and join my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video or my Discord server. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.